Now, here's Greg Pregent.
You can adjust
It is
it.
9:35 here this morning in hour number one with myself, Greg Pregent, and Bettina Chadbourne here on AM 1290 and FM 107.5 and WKBKRadio.com, streaming to the world. Thanks for joining us here this morning. This program brought to you by Elm City Bagels and Deli on West Street in Keene. You can always call us with your comments and questions at 357-1290 or email the show at gpregent at WKBKRadio.com and follow along our conversation on Facebook this morning. Coming up a little later in the program, Kevin Dremel will be joining us from 10 until 10:30 with the Keene Music Festival. Also, Josephine and Brian Russell will join us 10:30 to, until we talk, I guess, 11-ish or so about some yoga going on. They're opening up a new yoga studio here in Keene. That'll be kind of interesting.
Exciting.
And we'll have some open phone times, 11 to 11:30, so we can talk about what you would like to talk about. And then from 11:30 until noon, Jerry Sickles will be joining us. He is a Republican candidate for State House seat, and we'll talk to him about his candidacy. But first, right now, we want to welcome in Jen Risley from the Monadnock Food Co-op. Thanks so much, Jen, for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
And of course, August is New Hampshire Eat Local Month, and we will get into that in a little bit. But one thing I do want to do quickly is just maybe have you quickly remind the listeners about the Monadnock Food Co-op. And I know you guys are about a year old now, is that it?
That's right. We opened in April of last year, and we are really excited to be a community hub to grow the local food system, to have people connect with each other while they're shopping or having a sip of coffee in our cafe. It was really important to us not only have an accessible grocery store in downtown Keene, but to make sure that we were providing a full year-round market for our local farmers, while also promoting the local food system as a whole. So while not every farmer is going to find the Monadnock Food Co-op a perfect fit to sell their products, we still want to work with our partners to strengthen the whole food system so every farmer, whether they work with us now or in the future, is going to see a better business in the future.
Sure. And now, you know, with that goes along with the whole co-op deal. And so now, at the co-op, now how many local folks do you have contributing to the grocery store and the food that you offer?
Yeah, we as of our last fiscal year, which starts July 1st, we have over 2,000 member owners, mostly from 20 to 30 miles of Keene. And what they do is they invest $200 to become a member owner, so they can say, I own a business, which is pretty unique, to be able to own a business for $200 and just start running. And then when we start having a profit, which will probably be next year, we will return some of that profit back to our member owners in the form of dividends. So if you shop more at the food co-op, your check will be a little bit larger. So that's our way of giving that investment back to our community members.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I know you guys were taking kind of memberships, but I didn't realize that it was actually kind of more of an investment where you're going to pay back some dividends.
Exactly, and it's not a membership fee. So it's not a yearly fee that I think a lot of people think it is. And then on the other side of the coin is that you don't have to be a member owner to shop at the Monadnock Food Co-op. That we have to say over and over again. You choose to invest, you choose to join the Monadnock Food Co-op, but everybody is welcome.
Hey Jen, I was curious, could you define a little bit more of what local means? Some people have the idea that local means Keene, and I think it means a lot more than that.
Yeah, and it really is. There's no nationwide definition, like there's certified organic and what that means in the U.S., but for each individual and each business and organization has to define it for themselves. We define it as any business within 100 miles of Keene, or that food is grown or processed within 100 miles of Keene. The state of New Hampshire defines it as anything in New Hampshire, which for those cities and towns along the border, it presents quite an issue because people are keyed into buying local. So when they don't see the local tag next to Harlow's Farm in Vermont, which is not that far away, it creates quite an interesting issue for us that we're trying to promote eating close to home or close to where you live, and that definition of following political boundaries just gets more interesting. But we have orange tags throughout the store that identify products grown and made within 100 miles. If it's in New Hampshire, we say local. If it's Vermont or Massachusetts or Maine, we give the state.
Do you have any guidelines as far as, for instance, somebody who decides they want to create a line of cookies,
Mhm.
and they approach you, and they're local, but
Right.
like what kind of parameters are there, and how do you determine if you're going to carry a product?
Yeah, that's a great question for our buyers. So I'm the marketing and membership manager at the co-op, but I know that what we try to do is prioritize local first, then organic ingredients and local ingredients, and also fair trade.
Mm-hmm.
But if our member owners in our community is requesting a product, and enough people are requesting it, we will have that on the shelves. So really, our shelves are evolving what we're carrying depending on how people are voting with their dollars. And then,
Oh, I'm sorry. So I was just going to say, does that mean that if you, let's say you take a product in and you have it for a while, but for some reason it doesn't do very well, then you may exchange it with another local product that you think might sell better?
yep.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, do you have like a board or that tests something and set there's 5 people, and if the majority of that board says this is a good product, we're going to carry it? I mean, how does it work?
Yeah, I know Hannah Grimes Marketplace works that way, but for the Monadnock Food Co-op, it's usually the buyers and also getting recommendation from other co-ops, or it's really a lot of our, we had a survey recently trying to remember the number of product suggestions we received was probably over 300, and we spent a lot of time and tried to secure half of those in about 3 months' time. So there's